morning, day 73. So I need this morning. Look at that nice steamy coffee. We had a little bit of a ice storm last night, and everything's kind of covered in little balls of ice. So, nice day to stay home and have a nice cup of coffee. So, I was going to do my living room today, but from pulling around furniture and stuff like that, my neck is really sore this morning. I think it's the weather. But I'm going to do little things around the house today. Maybe declutter a little bit and carry on with my stuff. So I'm really looking forward to spring, and it's getting time to pull out my garden book and look in that, maybe my seed catalog, and start thinking about making plans for my little tiny garden. So even if you don't have a yard, you can still make a little garden. If you have a balcony or a deck, or even if you live in an apartment, you can get yourself a few grow lights. They make like those clamp-on work lights, and you can get a grow bulb, or you can get an arrow garden and grow yourself some greens. And I'm going to grow some sprouts and maybe some microgreens. I think that would be a fun project, and it would give me some greens to put on sandwiches or salads, and they're very, very healthy. So even in an apartment, you can do things like that and grow a little bit of food. So I'm candle making again, and I have the wood wicks. Those are great. I like them because you don't have to put anything on the top of your candle to hold them straight like you do with regular wicks. And this is just a melt that I had in my stash that I'm melting with the candle, and that way it'll give it a nice scent. And a lot of times when you do this with your candles end up like a brownish color, but I don't mind that at all, as long as they're doing their job putting out some nice warm ambiance. So my yogurt experiment was successful, and this yogurt is nice and thick. This is the one that I did with the oat milk that was like glue and soy milk, but it's really nice and thick. So I'm happy with that. And then this is a second one I made because I didn't want to use up all my other yogurt. But this one's nice and thick too, but it's a little thinner. But they're both really nice and tangy, but not so sour that you can't eat it. And this one I made in the Instapot. Well, it's in my Kasori. And I cultured it for 9 hours, and that was plenty sour. So I'm very happy that I got my yogurt, and I don't have to pay $5. All right, let's see what's for breakfast this morning, day 73. Not as much food as I used to have. I still have some of this sauce that I made yesterday, and I have these mushrooms. I still have a little piece of pepperoni. So I'm thinking maybe some kind of a pizza. I don't have any mozzarella cheese thawed out, but well, let's see what's for breakfast. Okay, I still have 3 rolls But I want to finish up this fitness bread, so I think I'm going to have some of that. And let's see what's in here. I still have some of this luncheon meat. I need to use that up before it goes bad. And then I still have a couple slices of this cheese from Aldi's. So I think I'm just going to have that for breakfast. Now the only cheese that I have this Mexican blend, and I do have some cheddar yet, a little bit of blue cheese, and then this is the Parmesan, but I gotta shred that. And then I still have some brie cheese. So I still have plenty of cheese to eat. So, and then I still have cheese in the freezer too. So, I don't know, I may have pizza for dinner. I've got lots of olives. So, maybe I'll see if I have any mozzarella cheese in the freezer, because I do have a lot of cheese in here. Well, I have smoked provolone frozen. That would be good on pizza. So maybe I'll thaw that and shred it up. All right. I'll meet you at the stove. Okay, I decided I want to finish up these grapes. So if I do go shopping for produce, then I'll buy more. So I decide, besides my fitness bread, I'm going to have a little bit of my yogurt that I just made. So I'm going to add some of my homemade chia berry jam. And then I have a little bit of just sweetener in there, put sugar, whatever. So I'm just going to make my own berry yogurt, because the plant-based yogurts, the small ones, are over $1, and I think that's a lot of money. So, and then I'm just going to have some of this, and this consistency on this yogurt turned out perfect, and it's not like glue anymore. So it has a couple lumps in it here and there, but that's not a big deal. So I'm just going to put, and it's like the soy milk took away some of the pastiness of the oat milk, and it didn't separate. That's what I like about it, because every time I made yogurt in the past, it always separated, and it was too thin. So that's good. And like I said, it has a nice tangy taste. I'm very happy with this. And I know a lot of you out there make your own yogurt, which is great. And, you know, making dairy yogurt, I know people that have made that. And I know Rhoda Stone makes her own dairy yogurt. But this, I wanted a plant milk yogurt. And that seems to me to be a little harder to make than the milk yogurt, than the dairy yogurt. Alright, so there it is. Let me give it a taste. And then I love grapes in my yogurt, or bananas. And I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon pecan Special K cereal on top of this too, but I want to taste this. It's really creamy now. It's nice, very nice. So I think I'm onto something. And then I'm going to put a handful of grapes. I think I'll just finish them. And this works out great with this container and this grate. I think you could get these on Amazon. I got these at Mark's. I have a couple of these and a couple of bigger ones. So there's that. And then I'm just going to take some of this fitness bread and put a generous amount of butter on it. Because if you don't, it's just way too dry. Like I said, my mother gave me this. She had it in her freezer. And I have 1 3/4 slices left. No. He always likes to see what's for the meal. So I'm going to go ahead and put this sandwich together. It's not real exciting watching me make a sandwich. And I'll be back in a minute. Okay, here is my breakfast. Day 73. Using up some more things in the refrigerator. Alright, I'll be back later. A while ago I made this little display, and this is just beach glass that we've collected on Lake Erie, and I put these little fairy lights in there. They were actually meant for a wine bottle, this bottle was actually from some apple cider that I saved, and then I had this jute from somewhere. Something came with it. So I just put it all together. And making your home nice and cozy doesn't have to cost a lot. And this is really pretty charming. I keep this with my indoor garden. And it adds a lot of ambiance. I'm trying something different here. Now, a while ago, I bought this Eat Pastry chocolate chip cookie dough. It's vegan, non-GMO, and I bought that at Costco. And I just want to try something different. Now I have here my little nostalgia mini griddle. So I'm letting that heat up. And I want to try baking a cookie in there. So let's see how that goes. Never tried this before, but a chocolate chip cookie sounded really good to me. And if this works, it'd be fun to make cookie dough ahead of time and then just have it in the fridge, and whenever you want a cookie, you can just bake a cookie. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to give it a try. And there's quite a bit of dough in here. So, alright, let's make a chocolate chip cookie. Now I imagine you can make a fairly good size one in here, but I don't want to waste the dough in case it doesn't work. Because like everything, this was not cheap. Alright, this is ready. Okay, I'm going to give that 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'm going to see if it's done. I don't know. Have to see. So I'm going to give it 3 minutes. I have no idea how long this is going to take, or even if it's going to work, but I'm going to try some of this cookie dough. And with it being vegan, there's no eggs in it. It's tasty. Alright, let's see what this produces. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes is up. Let's take a peek. Ooh, look at it, it's spreading nicely. I don't think it's done yet. Going to give another 2 minutes. be back. Okay, still not quite done. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. Okay, that's 7 minutes altogether. Let's see. Looks pretty nice. I'm going to unplug this. And I'm going to let it sit on here for a little bit to cool, because I'm afraid it's going to disintegrate if I try and scoop it up here. So, but it's spread nicely, so if this works, you don't want to put too much dough on there. So for a cookie like that, I put about that much dough on. So I'm going to let this cool off a couple minutes, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be back. Okay, this is cooled off. It's still warm, but I'm going to take this out of here and put it on the rack. Looks okay. So I'm going to let it finish cooling on there. Now I did not grease this because this has a lot of fat in it already. So I'm going to let this cool for a little bit, and then we'll give it a taste. Okay, I can't wait any longer. So it's a soft cookie, but I've never made this cookie before. So it looks good. And it's still just a little tiny bit warm. So let's see. It's nice. This worked. So it was 7 minutes in the mini griddle. I don't know how it would work on traditional chocolate chip cookies, because like I said, this is a vegan cookie here, but the outside is crunchy. The inside is soft. I'd say it's a winner. So now I can bake one chocolate chip cookie, one big one, in 7 minutes. And you can make cookie dough ahead of time, whatever your favorite recipe is. And if you have one of these mini griddles, you could give that a try. I got this one at Walmart. I don't know if they still sell them. This was before Christmas, like last fall. That's really good. I bet it would work on all kinds of cookies. Because for me to bake a whole batch of cookies, it's just a little too much. And a nice hot cup of tea, because it's been snowing like crazy again today. This has not been a good winter. So much for global warming here at my house. All right. Be back in a little bit. Well, for dinner, I went digging in my freezer. And I didn't take you along with me because I needed 2 hands. But this is what I dug out. I have this pack of leeks that's been frozen in there. And I have these mixed veggies that I want to use up. And I'm just going to make a very simple soup. I don't feel like making the pizza. I had thought about making pizza, but I'll save that for another day. So I'm going to just have the soup, and then I still have a couple biscuits left. that need to be eaten. So that sounded pretty good to me. And I think I'm going to make like a noodle soup, because the potatoes I have left, I put them on the windowsill to chit. Yes, chit. That means that the little eyes are starting to pop out. And so until those are ready to cut, I don't want to use them. So anyway, I'm just going to use some of this Gyrosa vegetable broth and some of my homegrown celery tops and some of this salt-free chicken grilling seasoning and some of this complete seasoning from the Dollar Tree. So that's pretty much going to be it, and I have some noodles I'm going to put in here and just make a simple soup. And it's not one that's going to cook for a long time. It's sort of an instant broth kind of soup. And then I'll probably sprinkle a little bit of green onion on there. My green onions are still going strong, and I bought those almost a month ago. So that's what I'm making for dinner, and I'll be back a little later and show you my soup. Alright, so in here there's about 3 cups of water. I put half that pack of leeks in there. I'm going to add about, a good teaspoon of the celery powder. It's not coming out very well. Teaspoon and a half. Celery always gives soup a good flavor. And you can dehydrate a lot of greens in your dehydrator and grind them up and use them in soup. Alright, so I'm going to put about a teaspoon of this complete seasoning in there too. A small teaspoon, because that does have salt in it too, and so does this. So, but you can always add more water if you make a mistake and add too much salt. Now this is salt free, but it does have other spices in it. It's Mrs. Dash's, and it's got some red pepper flakes and things in it. So it has just a little bit of heat. And this is garlic powder. And some onion powder. Now the leeks are onions too, so you don't need too much of that. And then just taste it, and if you want more or less seasoning, I mean, this is just a real quick soup. So let me give it a taste, make sure it's not too salty. Oh, pretty darn good. I'm going to put some pepper in there too, fresh ground pepper. And then I'm going to let these leeks cook for, about 15 minutes or so, and then I'm going to add my mixed veggies and some pasta. And easy peasy, you've got yourself a soup. So there you go. Dinner day 73. Very simple soup. And I have enough for one more bowl. So there's the soup. You can't see it too well. Just a simple vegetable noodle soup. And then the 2 biscuits I made the other day, and a little bit of brie cheese. So easy peasy dinner. Very inexpensive. It really just costs a few cents to make this. So if you want a real quick soup, just use some veggie broth. cubes or bouillon or anything like that. Throw in some pasta, throw in some frozen veggies. And this is why I like to get the mixed veggies, because you get a variety in there and you can always make a soup. You can use this soup if you have leftover rotisserie chicken. You can throw that in. Or if you're vegetarian like me, you can always throw in some Butler soy curls. Anything like that would be good. So, all right, well, that's dinner day 73. So last year I bought a little, it's not an Arrow Garden, it was whatever Aldi's brand had. I think it ran around $30, and I bought 2 of them, and they don't have any of the little inserts with it. So when I looked at it today, I was going to plant some lettuce and a couple of herbs, but so I had to order some on Amazon, and I ordered 50 of them for like 12 something. So those should be coming in a couple days, because I do want to start my veggies. But upstairs I have a whole setup, but I need to redo it, and it's in front of a southwest facing window. So last year I had pretty good luck with my starts up there, but I have to redo the lights. So that's going to be coming up. Start doing a few garden videos, and I'm looking forward to that. But you wouldn't know it with the way the weather was today. Well, what are you going to do? You just make yourself happy in your home. So that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.